So, Daniel, I know that you have billed yourself as the second biggest comic book fan ever, but who's the first?
Oh,
I was gonna ask that.
oh, the first guy is this. There's this actor called Nicolas Bro. A wonderful human being and a great actor, big Danish actor. He became a celebrity when he was 22, and he's poured, I mean, all his money into comic books. So going home to his place, it's a bit like meeting a hoarder slash genius. He's, I have nothing on him, and I'm the second biggest in Scandinavia. I mean,
okay, you're like, let me break it down in Scandinavia, not the globe.
No. I ain't getting close to Germany or France. I'm talking about small countries. It's like being the best in Wisconsin.
That is hilarious. And Adria, I want to find out from you, how did you stumble upon AOC to look to her as inspiration to craft Martine?
How could you not? I mean, how can you not know who AOC is? I just really loved the way that she spoke, and I just watched so many of her interviews, and I sort of fell in love with the way that she speaks with conviction and isn't afraid of telling a room full of white men that there has to be change, and that feels cool. And she's fearless in the way that she speaks and how she speaks. And I like that about Martine. I think Martine's one of those women that, open their mouth and people just shut up. And I love that. And I think that was an element to her that I fell in love with. But, I think Sade was also a big inspiration for us. I think aesthetically, the hair, the outfits, like the way that clothes sort of fit, we really like that visually. And then my aunt, who's a doctor in Puerto Rico, she was a big inspiration for me. And I think she's the most Martine, in my opinion. She has so much hope for medicine. So it was like a mixture of a bunch of very powerful and smart women that inspired me to
listen. You sound like you probably could have inspired yourself, because you're powerful too. So I'm just going to give you that. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm just going to give you that. Now, Michael goes through many, many transformations in this film. What transformation did you go through as a director, Daniel? And what transformation did you go through, Adria, to inhabit your role as a scientist? And what transformation, Daniel, did you go through in directing this film? And I'll start with Adria first.
I think the first transformation that happened was, like I said, just really educating myself and sort of preparing as much as I could. And I think there's the beginning, and I think I came into this movie being, a girl that's an actor and really wants to be successful. And I sort of ended this film feeling sort of really empowered about the work, and also learning so much from Jared, learning from Daniel, that it almost matured me a little bit. I excuse me, I felt, and then based on Martine, I think the second I tried on her shoes, I'm very big on shoes. She sort of came to be for me after doing all the preparation. So it was definitely a personal, and also, on screen, it was blame it on the shoes.
And Daniel?
I had to do a Marvel movie, so I had to kind of, I think it was a combination of trying to find kind of my younger self, who I was when I initially, fell in love with Marvel comics, and not forget how that spark felt like and looked like. But then it's also the kind of idea that when you make movies, most movies, they are not part of anything. They are solitary. So when you begin the first image of a movie, there is nothing else than that image, But with Marvel movies, it's different. There are like these different kind of genres right now, like, which is Marvel, DC, also Dune. They're part of like a canon, So you are not just communicating with the movie that you're doing, but with other movies and other, canons or stories. So your first image is not solitary. It's part of a world where people already have an opinion. So that perception had to kind of be integrated into myself. You know, for example, my last movie called Life, it had the tragic ending, and for me it was like a Twilight Zone ending where everything starts to shit, you know. And you know, you remember that TV show? But when people watched it, they thought it was a canon. So people thought like, oh, there's a sequel. And I was like, no, it's that the world is shit. Don't you get it? No, but yeah.
Well, I want to thank you both so much for Daniel inhabiting your younger self, and Adria, the love of shoes girl. Gotta love a girl that loves some shoes. Thank you for your time, y'all. I appreciate
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next time.